and welcome to Live in the Solution. These are your readings for February the 26th through March the 4th. And first of all, I want to give a little astrological report on what's going on, because there's a lot going on this week. And I will put in the show more section below the timeline that you can skip the astrological report if you are checking out your sun, moon and rising, because these are for your sun, moon and rising also. Thank you guys for all the wonderful comments, for liking my videos, for sharing them, and for subscribing. And please, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I have also created a Patreon page, and if you would like to show a little love, you know, please patronize me on Patreon. People say, don't patronize me. Please patronize me. The link to Patreon is in the show more section below. I welcome constructive criticism. I just kind of did it today. It was, or yesterday, I should say. So I've kind of, you know, trying to get my head around all this technical stuff, and you know, it is what it is anyway. So I would really appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. So without further ado, let's go to the astrological happenings and transits this week. Now we have on the 1st, we have a full moon in Virgo. Now Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces, and Pisces is dreamy, watery, go with the flow, spiritual, yeah, whatever, you know. And Virgo is practical. It's an earth sign. It's, you know, a perfectionist, analytical, you know, has to get things right. Now, this is happening, I normally don't mention the degrees, but this is happening at 11 degrees and 22 minutes. 2 power numbers. So that's kind of exciting. So it means it's a very powerful full moon. We're going to feel kind of emotional and possibly self-critical or criticizing others. We need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of our internal dialogue. We need to be aware of how we need to be kind. So we've got to put kindness and compassion in front this week. And it's really important to keep our focus on what we have accomplished as opposed to what we haven't, and how we've done our best. And if we are going to criticize, we need to do it in constructive criticism. Like I take constructive criticism, I welcome it. I can have growth through constructive criticism. I don't take that personal, but when it's unkind, and of course, that hurts my feelings if it's unkind. So I'm very fortunate that I get lovely comments. Occasionally, I'll get one or two that are unkind, and I just send them off with love. Because what you put out, you know, you get back sometimes. So I have to be mindful to be constructively critical about myself, because we can also, when we're constructively critical with ourselves, it's kind of personal growth, isn't it? It's looking at where we need to improve. That's constructive criticism, but it's not, you know, like you're no good and you can't do this and why do you bother, and you know, you're useless, and you know, those kind of thoughts are not helpful. So we have to really be aware of our internal dialogue and how we're treating others. We all want to be treated with kindness and compassion, don't we? So that's what we need to do. We need to do with others. Now, at the time of this full moon, around the time of this full moon, we also have Mercury in a positive aspect to Jupiter, which means, you know, Mercury is about the intellect, Jupiter is about expansion. So it means, you know, brilliant ideas, innovative, creative ideas. And I always feel that we get that when we go inside and we meditate. So that's a brilliant, wonderful opportunity to meditate and get these wonderful, incredible, creative ideas and how to move forward with our lives. Now, we have, of course, we have the sun in Pisces. and right next to Neptune. And the sun is about identity. Neptune is about, spirituality, angels, guides. It's a wonderful time to connect with your spirit guides and angels and really connect spiritually, and really identify what your belief system is. This is a wonderful time to explore that. Incredible creative meditative meditations are possible at this time. Now, Mercury and Venus are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio, right? Mercury and Venus in Pisces are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio. So we've got Jupiter in play a lot. This is expansion. So it's very, very important to keep our thoughts and positive and optimistic, and because we can go down the spiral in the other way, right? Whatever we focus on expands at this time. So it's really, really important to really look at how we're thinking and what we're projecting out into the world. It's a wonderful time. That aspect creates this wonderful kind of spiritual conversations. It's about being receptive. It's feminine energy. It's receptivity and it's healing, deeply healing. So when we can have these philosophical, incredible spiritual conversations, and it's a very healing energy that's coming in. It's about having trust and faith in divine timing. It's about being patient, because we could have this tendency to be a little irritated next week. If we are aware of that, we can sit back, take a breath, and just, you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know what feelings they're processing and so it's about being patient, it's about being kind, and it's about stepping back and being in Pisces energy. Okay, let's go with the flow. You don't have to beat the horn. You don't have to, shout at someone. You don't have to, put yourself in that anger. Now, Venus and Mercury connect with Chiron, right? And Chiron's the healing wound, the wounded healer, the healing wounded, the wounded healer. This is a perfect time for healing and personal growth, and it's a positive healing energy. So this week, I think, is a wonderful week when we're aware of the shadow side of things, so that we can keep it on the positive. We can, connect with other people and, have these wonderful conversations. We can meditate. We can work on it, healing our soul, healing our psyche, expansion, growth. Personal growth. This is a perfect week for personal growth. March has the energy of the number 5. Freedom, expansion, change, doing things differently, not wanting to be tied down, keep moving forward, keep it on the move, restlessness, right? So it's interesting that we have all these planetary aspects, this astrological change that's going on. So it really kind of goes with March, right? Okay, let's go to your cards, shall we? Pisces, welcome to your reading for February the 26th through March the 4th. And let's go to your first card. Your first card is the High Priestess. Oh, let me put it that way. There you go. The High Priestess. The High Priestess is about going inside. She has all this knowledge and power and witchcraft and all these spells, all this, incredible knowledge. And she doesn't give it away freely. But when she pops up into a reading, she's saying, I'm going to make that information available to you. So It's very important to meditate, guys, because this is where you get this information from. When you have these cards popping up, you go inside, that information will be revealed to you. Now, clarifying that is the Prince of Autumn. The Prince of Autumn is about being cautious of any action that you take. Think before you react or respond, right? But it's interesting because it's saying pay attention and be meticulous. Pay attention to detail. And Pisces, you are the bigger picture kind of person. You're not the detail. Your opposite sign Virgo is about detail, and you're about, going with the flow and the bigger picture. At this time, you're being asked to really pay attention to the details. So I'm getting focus is the word that I'm getting for you. So it's about being really focused, and it's very kind of challenging to be focused at this time because, we've got Neptune in Pisces and we've got the Sun in Pisces. Identify, it's all dreamy and go with the flow and bigger picture. But this full moon in Virgo is about detail. So that energy will kind of help us. You are definitely being asked to be focused on the details. It's important when you get these messages. Now, the next card you've got is the Seven of Wands, right? And the Seven of Wands is kind of conflict, right? But what it's saying here is you're coming from a higher ground, and you need to be on the higher ground. So yes, there's conflict, but there's conflict in lots of people's life, but this is about taking the higher ground. So you defend and you speak your truth, but you do it from a place of spirituality and compassion and kindness. It's really about putting that energy forward this week for sure. You see how he's got all these sticks coming at him, and he's kind of higher up and kind of looking down. Now, I don't mean in a condescending way, but he's taken the higher ground. So it's about defending issues, and it's about defending things for the higher good of everyone. Now, clarifying this, 2 cards popped out. You've got renewal. So it's saying, look, review and look at everything that's happened from the past and release. It's about releasing this stuff. This is about, it's like releasing, of course, it's releasing the judgment against yourself and others. And, we're going, with this full moon in Virgo, we're going to have this tendency to be self-critical. This is about being aware of that. We already talked about that in the astrological aspect. So this is really kind of poignant for you. This is saying keep your thoughts positive. If you're going to be critical, make sure it's constructive criticism for yourself. How can you grow? Not you did this and that's terrible. It's like it changes the question, right? And how you view this issue. So instead of saying, "Oh God, you're terrible and you really messed up and you shouldn't have done that," you can say, "Wow, I did that. I can't change it. So what can I do differently next time?" You're living in the solution, right? It's the name of my business, liveinthesolution.com. That's what you need to do. You need to live in the solution. You need to review everything and release all the negativity and move forward. And then you've got unity in number 5. And look, March is about number 5, right, in numerology. This is about, I always say this is like the Hierophant, right? This is about getting with your tribe. It's about being spiritually, exploring your spirituality. It's keeping everything, that's something you don't have a hard time doing. That's something that you naturally tend to do. We're going to feel the need to be grounded this week, because we are going to feel restless, you know, not this week, this coming month in March. We're going to feel restlessness. We want change. We want things to be different. We don't want to be tied down and blocked in and stuck. We want to travel. We want to expand. We want to go forward. And this is a beautiful time to search out your tribe, even a spiritual mentor perhaps, but this is definitely having faith and trust, and that's astrologically we're in. This is so on par with where we're going astrologically. You know, it's about having faith and trust that everything is happening in divine timing, right? It's not our timing, so we have to relax. We have to allow things to just flow. And trust and have faith that things are going to work out. And look, you've got the Empress. Things are working out. The Empress is one of my, excuse me, she's one of my favorite cards. She is this wonderful, creative, magical, manifesting energy, right, coming in. And this to me is like, focus on anything creative and wonderful things are going to happen. Now, we have release, right? Clarifying this. This is about letting go of the past. This is about releasing anything in the past that's happened. It's an ending, usually. An ending for a new beginning. Look, things have to end sometimes in order for something wonderful to take its place. So sometimes we end up hanging on to stuff that's robbing us of something a lot more wonderful, but we really think, no, we're supposed to have this, we want this, but really what we're doing is we're robbing ourselves of something 10 times more beautiful. We have to have trust and faith that spirit has something much better for us, and we need to, if things are going, allow them to go. Oh, I always, well, I don't always say this, but a guru once said to me, look, we screw up a little piece of paper, right? We think of letting go. I've got paper in my hand. We think of letting go like that, right? I always say he said it to me, but there were kind of hundreds of people in the room. But he spoke to me. And this was years ago. And he said, but think about letting go like that, right? It's still there. It's not going anywhere. If you need it, it's there. But we have to let go. When we hang on to things, it's almost like we're pushing it away. You know, when someone's kind of needy and they're all over you, you know, it's like a kid, mommy, mommy, mommy. And you're like, go away. Let go of my skirt. It's, you know, you push people away that are needy and hang on, right? So that's how you have to think of it. Sometimes we need to let things go to allow wonderful, beautiful gifts to take their place, or people. So it's your birthday. It's your birthday season, Pisces. So we are pulling an extra card for you. And I chose the spirit messages because it's all about spirituality for you. So let's see what spirit has to tell you. What wonderful message you can receive that's going to really help you this week. What wonderful message can we give to Pisces this week that's going to be helpful? What wonderful message for Pisces this week. Okay. Oh, let's see. I allow the cards to fall. I don't. Oh, it didn't. Nearly. I shouldn't have stopped it, really. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. Oh, new beginnings. That's so funny because that's what this is, right? Release, because something new is coming. Renewal, right? Something new is coming in for you this week. Wow, what a beautiful image. It's everything in life is constantly vibrating and moving and therefore continuously changing and evolving. Be aware that a new beginning is on the horizon. Have courage and faith because right now life is trying to nudge you forward and move you in a new direction. Gorgeous. Look at that. Can you see that? Yeah. Lovely. It's the colour of the sun, and the sun is in your sign. Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate and I love you all. Please subscribe, share, comment, and like. I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email mary@liveinthesolution.com.